Good morning. Hello. I'm Church of God family. Today I'm going to be talking about being uncomfortable. Uncomfortability. There are things that we feel uncomfortable about individually, and then there are things that we feel uncomfortable about as a society. And then there are things that we feel uncomfortable about being Christians, as a group of Christians. Us being in this world, but not being of this world, should make us feel uncomfortable in our world today. In Romans 12:2, you can turn to it if you'd like. Romans 12:2 talks about do not be conformed to the way of the world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind. And by doing so, you can distinguish what is good, acceptable, and the perfect will of God. Let's talk about being uncomfortable for a moment. I was taking a medical class a while back, and my instructor was telling us when people come into the doctor's office, you don't want to make them uncomfortable, so don't wear your white lab coat because that automatically makes people nervous. Like, what are we here getting tested for? I'm just here for a checkup. So we don't do that. And you don't put on, your nylon gloves when you're about to examine a patient unless it's necessary to. And she said, for example, if your patient comes in with a foot sore, you don't need to put on your nylon gloves. And that right there to me was like, whoa, no. What did she just say? Because if my patient comes in with a foot sore or something, I'm not going to touch their feet. I'm uncomfortable with feet. I don't like, if you're over the age of 5, I'm not going to touch your feet. I don't like it, it's not me. So I was like, that was uncomfortable. And then I worked in the doctor's office, and I had to touch a lot of feet. And so it's something that I had to exercise and had to get almost like used to. So it became more comfortable for me. And now I'm not so feet phobic. So sometimes when we practice certain things, we become more comfortable with them. And Romans 12:2 says, don't be conformed to the ways of the world. Don't become so complacent, so comfortable with the way things are going that you just sit by and you agree with whatever's going on. What we have to do is we have to be transformed by renewing our mind, by reading the Word, by praying, by being focused on Christ. That's how we renew our mind, and we stand strong against the ways of the world. And when we do this, we can distinguish between what is good and what is acceptable and what is the perfect will of God. So we are different, automatically. Just from that right there, we already are different. We are set apart. In Psalms 1, verses 1 through 3, I love Psalms. Psalms tells us about, blessed is the man that walketh not in the counsel of the ungodly, nor standeth in the way of sinners, nor sitteth in the seat of the scornful. But his delight is in the law of the Lord, and in this law does he meditate day and night. And he should be like a tree that is planted by rivers of water, that brings forth fruit in his season. And whatever he does prospers. I love that because we feel like if we're different, we aren't being we're not achieving something that everybody else is achieving. We're not achieving that acceptability. We're not achieving something that's tangible. But God says you're blessed when you're set apart. You're blessed if you don't listen to wicked things. You're blessed when you don't stand around and agree with sinners and conform to the ways of the world. You're blessed when you don't sit there and mock the things of God. And not only are you blessed, but if you are challenging yourself to not do those things, you're delighting yourself in the ways of the Lord, because you only have one direction, or you only have two directions, this way or this way. And if you're not doing the things of the world, you're doing the things of God. There's no in between. There's not, I will just stand my middle ground. I will be comfortable right here. No, you're either this way or this way. So, he says he delights in the laws of God, and he meditates on them day and night. He knows what they are. He's so focused, and he's so enriched into the power of God that he meditates on it, and it's not something that's hard. When Pastor called me up and she's asked me, she kind of jokingly said, do you want to do a message? Honestly, I'm tired. I got 2 kids, and I have things I do, and I could have all these excuses. But it's a delight. It's a privilege. I was reading an article, that was trying to raise awareness on human trafficking. Excuse me. And it's not only about being a sex slave or it's slavery, it's bondage. And it made me uncomfortable to read it because I was sending money to places, the charity funds that were, like Love 146, and, people that were trying to help out these kids and these adults, and people that were just so in bondage and such in slavery. And I would just have $20 extra, I'll just send it to them, or, I have $50 to send it. But it wasn't like I was getting involved, and reading it was, excuse me, reading about it was just,
Go ahead.
It made me uncomfortable. Right. How can I be reflecting God and say that I'm a Christian and all I'm doing is throwing money at certain organizations? I didn't want to write about it on my social media. I didn't want to talk about it with my friends because it was uncomfortable for them, and I didn't want to make them uncomfortable. But what I didn't realize was it should be uncomfortable. I shouldn't have to make them feel comfortable about things that are happening in this world. So, I read that an estimated 27 million women, men, and children are in trafficking situations. And that already was uncomfortable for me. But what made me more uncomfortable and what made me understand it better was that some areas, it's so common that it's become part of the culture. It's happening so much that they just accepted it. And I was like, when did it become okay to accept wrong? And then I looked at our own society and our own community and our own town, and I'm like, there's so much going on that's wrong, and we're just accepting it. It's okay. It doesn't have to be something as grand as human trafficking, but it can be something as little as stealing or as small as gossiping. It's anything it's wrong, it's a sin. We cannot accept it. We cannot be comfortable with it. James 1 verse 27. We can turn to that one, but there's also, we're not going to turn to these, but you can write them down if you're taking notes. Proverbs 1 verse 15 and Proverbs 31 verses 8 and 9. They kind of all go with James 1:27. And James 1:27, it talks about pure religion. Pure religion is to visit the fatherless and the widow in their affliction. And affliction is a time of trouble or a tribulation, a time of distress. And it says, and to keep thyself from being polluted by the world. So not only are we supposed to be helping people, and we're supposed to be lifting each other up, and we're supposed to be beacons of light. We're supposed to be untainted by what's going on around us. We don't get it attached to us. For example, there comes a time in our lives when we need to have a pure religion, a pure heart, a pure focus on what is right, what is wrong. For like my kids, when they take off their shoes, they're one and two. They take off their shoes, they put it by the door in a little spot that's supposed to go by. I'm like, good job, I clap for them. Good job, you did good, you know what you're doing. When they're 8 and 9 and they go put their shoes by the door, I'm not going to clap for them.
That's right.
Because they should know.
That's right.
When I start telling them, you got it, you did good job, you did good going, and they're little, there comes a time in our faith when we can't just be little all the time.
That's right. We
We don't get to stand around and goo goo gaga. We got to say words, and we got to stand up for, what it is right in this world. When you guys clapped, when I came up here and you guys were clapping, I was like, yeah. That was a social experiment for like the monkey see, monkey do. I just came up here and I started clapping, and everybody clapped with me. But we don't know why we were clapping. You just saw me clapping. Oh, sure, let's clap. But what are we clapping for? I don't know what I was clapping for. I just wanted to do this. So we have to know what we're doing, not just because we see somebody else doing it, or nobody else is saying anything. So it's gonna make me uncomfortable to say something. It shouldn't make you uncomfortable to stand up for what's right.
That's right.
We let people have an impact on us, and sometimes we don't even know these people. But we allow them to control our actions and our attitudes and how we think and how we do, because we don't want to be made fun of. We don't want to be set apart. We don't want to be different. But aren't we called to be set apart, and aren't we called to be different?
That's right.
In the 5th grade, I was in Miss class with my sister. She's in 6th grade, so it was a 5th and 6th grade class. And so there was older kids, and they were cooler. Anyways, the teacher showed us, she's going to pass out a test. Everybody look at your own test. Don't look around at anybody else. No matter what's going on, just focus on your own test. So she hands out the papers, and we're all sitting there, and the paper says, in 6th grade class, complacent test, or whatever. And in small writing it said, read each question before answering, and read till the end. Now, I might have been a slower reader, but already I could hear people clapping or jumping up and down and doing things. And I'm trying to stay focused on my own test, but I'm like, they're already ahead of me, and she's timing us, so I gotta hurry. So I just started answering. 1 plus 1, 2, that was easy. Spell happy. I was like, oh, it's right there, happy. Okay, blah, blah, blah. And then the next question was like, stand up and clap 3 times. So I was like, oh, that's what it is. Stand up, clap 3 times. Next question, whoa. And as I'm writing as fast as I can, I'm trying to, get my test done with everybody else. I look over and there's 1 or 2 kids that are just sitting still. And I'm like, there's no way, it's only been like 3 minutes. How slow am I? So I'm trying to hurry. And the teacher, you hear a few people start to sigh. Like, oh man, what's that thing? And I got to the end of the test and it says, if you're reading this portion of the test, you listen to the directions, you read them carefully, you know what you're supposed to do. Put your pencil down, you pass the test. Everybody who has stuff written on their page didn't pass the test. Out of 27 kids in the class, there was 2 kids that that passed the test. Out of 27 kids. I wish I could say I was one of those kids. I really wish I could, but I wasn't. And that's just like us in a lot of things, because we see somebody who's older doing it, or they're cool, or we respect them because of certain reasons. Just because it's something that they do, it doesn't make it right. We have to make sure our ultimate reflection and our ultimate vision is on God, because He's the only one that has all the answers, all the perfectness, all things that we're supposed to be doing. We can't follow in somebody else's footsteps unless we follow in God's footsteps first. I noticed a lot of words these days are just being thrown around. Like I don't understand why people say snitches get stitches. I know why they say it, that snitches get stitches. You tell somebody you can be a, but when you're telling on somebody, or when somebody is saying, oh, he's doing this wrong, you're pointing it out. Oh, people are going to call you a snitch. Don't do that. You're telling me don't do something that's right? How about you just don't do what's wrong and I don't have to do anything and I don't have to have the word? But it's like that. Growing up, my friends used to always be like, your mom never lets you do anything. You never allowed to do anything. You're a pastor's kid. You're a goody. So you're making fun of me because I'm good. Because I don't have problems. I don't go out with you guys. I'm not 18 and doing crazy things. You're making fun of me for that, and you're calling me a goody like it's condescending? Shouldn't you be like, wow, that's impressive, because nobody else does that. You're not being like everybody else. And like people, I remember a lot of times in high school, people were like, you're a virgin? Oh man, you're a virgin? Yeah. You mean I didn't sleep around and do a whole bunch of crazy things? Yeah. Is that bad? Because when I'm reading the Word and when I'm asking God to help me to interpret it, why are you saving me for who? And what am I doing? Why does it seem like it's wrong? But God's telling you it's not wrong. Don't listen to those words, because it's going to make you uncomfortable. Yes, because you're not of this world. You're of a different world. You're of my place. Right. So it's going to make you uncomfortable here. But how much more comfortable are you going to be there?
That's right.
The other word that baffles me that people throw around is love. This word is like powerful beyond measure. Love is like the greatest word ever to me. But we pass it around like it's hot potato game. Like, here, I love you. God, it's I love you too. But what love is patient and kind, and is not boastful. It is not puffed up. It doesn't seek evil. It rejoices in good. And when people say, hey, I love you, and then, hey, cuz, what's up? I love you. Oh, you're doing good. You got that house. Oh, cool. She walks away. Can't believe her. This girl, I grew up with her. We should have the same thing. How would she have all this stuff? She's probably like with some guy, that's rich. We do things like that. We make fun of things that are different from us, or that are better than us, or that we feel we should have. And we throw it around, and it's just like, why do we let ourselves be taken by the world? Why do we let ourselves be jealous and boastful? And you know what? I love you and I'm proud of you. That's good that you got that. I hope you stay strong in God's faith and pursue everything He has for you. Why can't we do that? Why is that so hard for us? We don't want to be seen as different because we fear what's different. We fear being rejected and being an outcast. We fear being set apart. So basically, we fear our calling.
That's right.
Proverbs 18:21 says that death and life are in the power of the tongue. What are we giving our power to? What are we laying to rest, and what are we raising up? Because in this world today, they're saying it's okay. We're accepting, because it's happening so much. We're accepting that it's okay to enslave somebody, and it's okay to take advantage of their mind and their weaknesses. And the Bible tells us we're supposed to be rescuing those people. We're supposed to be standing in front of them, not behind them being like, oh, do you see what's happening? Let's go this way because it's uncomfortable. No, we're supposed to be running over there and taking control of the situation, because that's who we're called to be. So basically, if we don't define ourselves in character and in how we behave and how we act and what we reflect, then we're choosing to be defined by anything else and everything else. So we can't pull somebody else. You can't pull somebody else to a place that you're not at. You can't pull somebody out of slavery when you're in bondage.
That's right.
And you can't accept sinful nature and expect it to be okay and be like, that's fine. When God says wickedness is an abomination to him, this is something I don't like. We're supposed to be reflecting Christ. If a sin is a sin, we don't like it either. That's as simple as that.
That's right.
We can't accept certain things and be like, well, God didn't like it, but this is a different time. This is the same time. He's the God of all time. He wasn't there yesterday and maybe here today, might be there tomorrow. It's continuous for him. So how can we now, remember the words, how can we now say that we're Christian if we can't be Christ-like? I have so many friends that say, oh, I'm Christian or I'm Catholic, and I'm like, what are you practicing? What shows you that you are that? What shows you that you're Catholic? Well, my family was Catholic, so I'm Catholic. What? What does that even mean? Stuff like that. We have to be Christ-like. Society has taken so much control of being called a Christian that it's almost depleting the name. It's tarnishing it. Because people can say it now and it's just like, oh, you're a Christian. Okay, well, you're good. No. You have to really examine somebody's actions and somebody's beliefs and somebody's words, because just because somebody says that's what they are or that's who they are doesn't mean it's a true meaning. And when we tarnish words like Christian or love and things like that, we let everything else be okay. We let the ways of the world settle in. Well, it's okay, she's a Christian and she lets that happen, so that's okay. No. We gotta stand apart. In John 14, verses 1 through 11, Jesus is talking to his disciples.
Let not your heart be troubled. You believe in God, believe also in me. In my Father's house are many mansions, and if it were not so, I would have told you. I go to prepare a place for you, and if I go and prepare a place for you, I will come again and receive you also unto myself, that where I am, there ye may be also. And whither I go, ye know, and the way ye know. Thomas said unto the Lord, we know not whither thou goest, and how can we know the way? Jesus said unto him, I am the way, the truth, and the life. No man cometh to the Father but by me. If you had known me, you should have also known my Father.
Hold on right there, please. Thank you. I just want to say, in all seriousness, he says, if you had known me, you have also known my Father. Shouldn't it be that if people know us, shouldn't they also know God?
That's right. So I'm talking.
I'm crying because it's heavy sometimes to try and do right and to try and say, come on, this is cool and this is good. What God has for us, that's what's really cool, what's really good. And you see people just say, I don't want that. And you know that's a soul that you might not see later on. And that's why I cry. It's not because I'm standing up here or I'm nervous. I hate that there are people that are going to suffer. And I don't want them to. I want them to be whole. People are suffering on this earth. And they're going through bad things. And people are like, how can God be so evil? How can he allow these things? But we don't understand that we're blaming God for things, what we should be blaming the devil for, and saying, no, I'm not going to stand for that anymore. You're wrong. God's bigger than that, and he's better than that. And we should be showing people there is more than this. He said, if you know me, then you know my Father as well. So we should be reflecting that, and we should be showing that to the world, because if they don't see it in us who are Christian, who are they going to see it in?
That's right.
There is nothing else. We're not going to read the whole thing, but you can write, if you're taking notes, you can write it down. It's Isaiah 1, verses 1 through 31. We're not going to read it all. I just wanted to point out a few things. It's almost like what's said in there, it's almost like today's time. Because people are just, they're giving into sinful nature. They're just giving into whatever's going on around them. In Isaiah it says, a donkey knows its master, and he knows how he cares for him. But how do we not know God and how he cares for us? Should we be that much more smarter than a donkey? I mean, I would hope that I would be. Even though I didn't pass that 5th grade test, I would hope that, that wasn't a reflection of now. We need to turn away from evil instead of continuously inviting it in. We need to watch over our towns and our families and our communities because they suffer for it. And then we need to learn to do good and to obey God. And then our sins will be washed as white as snow. That's what it says in Isaiah. If we want to defend the offended, and if we want to rescue the perishing, and we want to seek justice for the mistreated, then what we need to do is we need to have our standards, and we need to make this world feel uncomfortable.
That's right.
I can't always, like I said, there's a season where you clap for your child and say, oh, good job, come on, come on, come on. But there comes a time when I've been hanging out with you for so long, and you've seen how my walk is, and you've seen how I'm doing. And now all of a sudden, you're like, why are you being so weird? Why are you being so different? Why are you want me to be like you? Why? It's making me uncomfortable. You're making me feel weird. You should be uncomfortable because this is not what you are of. When you accept Christ in your life, everything's different. Everything that happens here, it's not even fun anymore. It's not even something, you're just seeing it as, I can't even believe what's going on. This shouldn't be going on. This shouldn't be happening. We need to make the world feel uncomfortable. We need to realize that sin is uncomfortable. And we need to show the world the true comforter, who is the Holy Spirit. If you really want somebody to feel better and to have a place to feel sovereign, we got to get them into the Word and teach them about God and the Holy Spirit, because that's the only way in this world that we can feel comfortable, is to have His comfort with us and to know that He is strengthening us and lifting us, and that there is a way for us, and that no matter how much the world says it's weird, you're awkward, you're goody, those words are good to me. Call me those things, because the Bible says that makes me blessed. So try and be more uncomfortable.